Back in 2012, Spain conquered Europe, a key part of their domination of international football. During this period, it came just 2 years after their World Cup triumph. But what was so interesting about the side's success, and in particular their final performance against Italy, was the use of a system lacking a striker. Well, kind of, but we'll get onto that later. The Strikerless system was characterised by its 4-6-0 formation, consisting of 4 defenders and 6 midfielders operating in various roles and including a false 9. The approach drew on the tiki-taka possessional style of play and the creation of intricate patterns and movements to unlock teams, whilst also providing solidity in defensive phases. While systems utilising the false 9 have been prevalent throughout football history, from Austria's Wunder team, Cruyff's Barcelona, and of course Guardiola's Barcelona. But in this instance, we'll be looking at Del Bosque's Euro-winning Spain side. Starting from the defence, and this was structurally fairly traditional. Sergio Ramos was moved to centre-back alongside Gerard Piqué, whilst the energetic Alba and Arbeloa operated as fullbacks that moved vertically. The midfield is naturally where the focus of this system is. Busquets was fairly conservative in his position as part of the double pivot, acting as a solid defensive base from which to play out, supporting with ball retention and recycling, as well as tasked with blocking opposition passing lanes when defending. Alonso did this too, but would often slip into space in between the lines slightly forward. For the remaining 4 midfielders, fluidity was fundamental. Xavi was crucial centrally, staying higher and tasked with unlocking defences in space. Meanwhile, Iniesta and David Silva on the left and right were tasked with coming inside and overloading centrally, pushing high and wide and being supported by others for wide overloads. Centrally was Fabregas, who acted as the link to others. He would drop in to receive the ball and draw opponents, allowing for third-man runners to make movement into space, or he himself would make runs in behind, latching onto through passes. This system was all about dispatching sides with patience, dizzying movement, possessional-based combination play, and mental intelligence, knowing what decision to make in certain moments. Despite all this, it did have its weaknesses, and these were recognised. Prior to the tournament, Del Bosque had experimented with a strikerless system, and this had been frustrating and underwhelming, often lacking directness and penetration high up the pitch, with plenty of possession but no end result. And this was the case for Spain in the opening game of the tournament against Italy, when they drew 1-1. In the false 9, Fabregas dropped deep into midfield to link play and switched positions with David Silva on the right, but it lacked any decisiveness. And this leads us nicely onto Fernando Torres. Recognising the weaknesses, the striker would go on to start the next game, scoring 2 goals, and then again starting against Croatia. While this would be less successful and he would subsequently be dropped from the remaining games, his impact would remain. It was clear that Del Bosque needed a goal-scoring presence, even if he didn't want to start one. Torres would appear off the bench in many games, going on to secure the Golden Boot despite only starting 2 games. Meanwhile, replacements such as Pedro and Mata were much more attacking-minded than Silva and Iniesta. When it came to the final against Italy, while it was a strikerless system, it could be argued that Fabregas' role had evolved to have elements of a more advanced player, including the direct runs in behind. Either way, the system will go down in history, and a key chapter as part of Spain's international domination and their love for passing football.